Welcome to Chope or Choke Fight Pick Show with Will Chope and Russ Fairclough, brought to you by Russ's One Idea Podcast, Fight Circus and FMD Full Metal Dojo. Enjoy. Hello and welcome for the second time today, because I'm a dickhead, to Chope and Choke 3. Unfortunately, you've only got me today because Will is a fighter, and tomorrow he's got a boxing match. He took it on short notice. I think, was it Tuesday or something like that? Midnight Tuesday, I think it was. He said, I'll have a boxing match on Saturday night, even though he's flying to Thailand on Saturday. That's the type of guy he is. Anytime, anywhere, any place, and any rules set as well, man. He'll fight you any way you can. It's like, if you pay him, he'll fight you. I don't know. So he can't be with us today, so it's going to be a shortened version. You're just going to have to listen to me. He sent me his picks through so I can give you what he said, not his breakdown on it though. But we've got his picks, my breakdown, and you've got to listen to me for the next 15, 20 minutes or whatever it is. So good luck to him. Hope he brings back the W. Hope he's safe and sound at the end of that fight, because he's got to fly on Monday, as I say. And then next time we speak to him, you'll see him in a quarantine hotel in Thailand, which should be fun, you know what I mean, not being able to get out the door all the time. But he's an old hand at this now. It's at least the second time he's done it. And he was locked up in Singapore. Not locked up. Locked down in Singapore. So he's pretty good at this now. Anyway, let's go through it. So the Hill Yoda fight's been dropped off the card, I noticed. And this seems to be happening a lot. Whatever. I don't know what it's about. I just noticed that it's not there. I'm sort of looking forward to that. I like watching Angela Hill, tell you the truth. I think she's a good fighter and progressing well. But anyway, first one on the card now is Alex Caceres versus Kevin Croom. Both of us has gone the same on this one. Both of us think Caceres is going to win by decision. Kevin Croom's a tough kid, more experienced, 21 and 12. Fights with from James Kraut, one of James Krause's boys, I believe. And he's doing great things with his fighters, isn't he? You know what I mean? He's really, really, really doing well. And I like what he does in the corner as well. He's honest. He gives them what they need. So I'm really interested in how that develops, and as a coach, how he develops. Because he could be one of those people to watch out for as a coach in the future. Alex Caceres, Mr. Predictable. You always know what he's going to do, you know what I mean? No, that's the problem. You don't know what he's going to do, and I think that'll confuse Croom. I think Alex Caceres' experience is going to do it as well. You know, Croom's fought twice in Bellator, but it wasn't consecutive fights. He had a fight in between, then he was back to Bellator. So that means, is he good enough for that Bellator show? Is he bringing enough eyes? Is, I suppose, another thing as well. And he had one no contest. That's his one no contest. That was in the UFC. So, you know, we'll see how he does. Both of us think a decision. I don't think Caceres is going to get him out of there. That Croom's a tough kid. Caceres is a pretty tough kid. He's difficult to hit. He's difficult to pin down. He's got a lot of tricks. He doesn't know what he's going to do. You know. So both of us have gone a Caceres decision. I think that's not a bad bet if you're going to go on it. There's two fights I'd probably bet on. The rest of them, you're just like, ooh, these aren't easy to pick, are they? You know what I mean? Let's get this right. I just got this sent over from the UK. I bought it the other day, so I've got a load of stuff. I've got 2 new t-shirts now. I feel like a new man. Next fight. This is going to be a banger, isn't it? Bantamweight division. Pedro Munoz, Jimmy Rivera. Both of them fought before. It was quite a while ago now. Fought to a split decision as well. So it's ultra close. I can see this being ultra close again. There's not going to be a lot in this. Both of us have gone decisions, but the opposite ways. I think that break is going to give Munoz the advantage over Rivera. I might be wrong, but I think Munoz has been more active. He fought Frankie Edgar not so long ago, lost a split decision to him. You know what I mean? Frankie's Frankie, isn't he? You know what I mean? And it was very, very close. He's always in the fight. He's always in the scrap. He's got big power. Can hurt Vieira. Vieira can hurt him, but both of them are tough. So yeah, I'm with Will. I think it's going to go for a decision, but I think Munoz is going to edge it this time. There's a thing, isn't there? If you have a rematch straight away after, a lot of time it's the same person who wins both. I think that gap in between is going to do it for Munoz, and he's going to get a decision against. And it wouldn't surprise me if this is a split decision again, and Razor close, and both people thinking they've got robbed, because they're both that evenly matched, aren't they? You know. But do note that Will's gone for the American, just in case this happens again. So the next fight is the women's flyweight division. I don't know much about these two. Again, I've had a bit of a look on them. De La Rosa, submission specialist, brown belt. Her husband fights in the UFC as well, Mark. Silva fighting out shoot the box, you know, with lemurs, you know, and that there. So that's a tough place. That's a tough place to live in that gym, you know. She scraps. She wants to fight. She comes to fight. She'll throw. She's not afraid of getting hit. I'm not sure if De La Rosa's got that in her locker. I don't know whether she wants to scrap. Beautiful submission specialist. But Silva's got loads of submissions on her record as well. She's 7-1, only tasted defeat once. You know, so she's got those submissions in her locker. Will's gone De La Rosa decision. American. And I've gone Silva first round sub. I think she's going to crack her. I think she's going to crack her in that first round. Make her panic a bit. They're going to go to the ground. She's going to get an advantageous position and sub her out. Would I bet on it? No, would I fuck? Because it's not an easy bet. It's a women's fight. If you're not betting on a women's fight, I'd always bet on decisions, because look at them. The high percentage of them go to decisions. And this looks quite a close fight on paper. So I've gone for that just for a throwaway more than anything, because I think Silva will win, probably by decision, but I'm going to go first round sub, because I think she's going to get in there, get scrapping, and hopefully crack her. And then she's going to either take a panic shot or fall to the floor, and Silva's going to end up in a dominant position and sub her out. That's my take on the fight. Now this is the next fight. This is this fight is super exciting. Nikita Krylov against Magomed Ankalaev. Krylov used to fight at heavyweight. Ankalaev, he should be perfect, shouldn't he? He should be 15-0. You know, if he'd have just thought for 2 seconds about tapping instead of tapping, he'd have beat Paul Craig. He beat Paul Craig for 14 minutes and 58 seconds. 59 seconds. He was beating him. And then he got caught in a triangle, didn't he? Which, first fight in the UFC, that was when he lost. Fighting Paul Craig as an experienced fighter. He did tire a bit in that fight. And he panicked at the end. And I was listening to Dan Hardy saying about, at the end of it, this is after I made my picks, don't worry, I don't watch things like that before. At the end of it, his coach gave him a right fucking bollocking that one. So I don't think he's going to take him out too easy. Will's gone first round KO for Ankalaev. Krylov's tough, man. He used to fight at heavyweight, so do you think he's going to be that worried about it? I think he's going to put a pace on him. He's going to move him up and down. possible takedowns, and that get him sort of tired, and then clip him in that third round. In the second round, I think he's going to go. I think he's going to get a KO, TKO. When we say KO, it's KO or TKO. He's going to get a KO or TKO in the second round, as opposed to Will thinks it's going to be the first round. But I think it's all going to be set up in that first round. That first round's when it's all going to be done. And I think Krylov is going to have to come out, and he'll start swinging, get caught, and go to the ground and pound him. And I think that's how that fight will play out. And Ankalaev looks like a future star in this division. He's got everything. He moves well. When he was fighting as a Cutelabra, and Cutelabra's doing the old wobbly head and the wobbly legs thing, you know what I mean? And he went to jump in, I know, but he was going to win that fight anyway. You know, I can't see Cutelabra's a tough man, but I couldn't see him in... was it Cutelabra? Anyway, I couldn't see him winning that fight. Double checking myself. I'll have to go back and look at it to make sure. If I've made a mistake, I'm sorry. So yeah, I think that Ankalaev is a potential title challenger. Whether he'd have the striking to beat Adesanya if he beats Jan Blachowicz, but I think he's got everything to beat Jan Blachowicz though. You will have to see how Izzy is against a bigger guy when he's trying to take him down. That's where I think that he might struggle, Izzy, because striking with those middleweights, they can't take him down because of his movement, but a bigger, stronger person just gets one hold of you. You know, it's a different kettle of fish, because, you know, you're going up, what, 20 pounds, isn't it? You know, and that's a big difference in strength, and it's not 20 pounds when they come in and weigh in the next day, is it? So, you know, the only fight I'd really bet on is this one. And I'd bet on Ankalaev to win. I wouldn't bet what round or anything like that. That's too much of a, you know, we're doing this because we have to. But, you know, if I was just picking who's going to win, it's Ankalaev 9 times out of 10. The next one, the big one. And this is a great fight. Last week's was good. Last week's heavyweight fight was good. And it was interesting. But it doesn't hold the interest as this one does. It's 2 young guys in the sport coming up, not really sure of their potential, and this is going to see who's going to be able to take the next step up. It's heavyweight, so you can always reinvent yourself. You know, Rozenstruik was 11-0 until he fought, or 10-0 until he fought Gane. Beat Junior Dos Santos, didn't he? Hits hard, timing, a massive amount of kickboxing experience. Hugely experienced kickboxer. And Gane, 7-0. Some kickboxing experience, he is a kickboxer, but nowhere near the same experience as Rozenstruik. But what I like about Gane is his movement. He fucking moves like a middleweight. You know, and a good middleweight. not a fat middleweight like I'd be. So no, he moves like a middleweight, doesn't he? He moves, and his head's moving and that, and he builds takedowns in. And even though he isn't experienced, he isn't a massively experienced MMA fighter, he still gets a lot of submissions on his record, because he'll normally set it up with his hands and he'll take you down. I think he jumped in for a leg lock at some point. How many heavyweights have you seen do fucking leg locks? You know, they don't do it, do they? Because one big crack off a heavyweight and that's it. You know what I mean? You're away with the fairies, aren't you, for a bit? You know. So I like this kid. You know, like Rozenstruik. I'll use the Overeem fight as an example. Overeem fight's a wily veteran, used a lot of movement, mixed in takedowns, and Overeem beat him. I don't give a shit what they fucking say about that fight. I don't think it should have been stopped. Overeem was getting up. He sort of had his legs underneath him. You know, he might have had a face at something or not like that, man, you know what I mean? If he'd have done that, he'd have been like, looked like a fucking seal's hands, didn't it? His front lips, you know. And, but, yeah, the ref hadn't seen that. He just seen him go down and called the fight off because Rozenstruik done the clever thing and walked off. If Rozenstruik hadn't walked off, then that fight had carried on. It was because he walked off, the ref go, okay, I'll stop it. But Overeem was getting up, so it's like another 2, 3, 4 seconds, you know what I mean? Like a bit like the Ankalaev fight. You know, it was only seconds, wasn't it? So he got pieced up, and he got took down at times, and he got beat. He didn't get beaten down, though. You know, he still had that power at the very last seconds, which is really important. But can he hit Gane like that? Someone who moves like Gane, rolls, moves ahead, super athletic as well. You know, if you look at the picture in there and his neck, like it's like, isn't it? You know what I mean? He's a big old boy. Especially the way he moves. He doesn't look big, and we'll see what he looks like sized up against Rozenstruik and how he takes those punches. It'll be super, super interesting. But I think Gane's ceiling of potential is much higher than Rozenstruik's. I don't think if he loses today, it's going to be a big tomorrow. It's going to be a big issue. But you know, I think Gane in the second round is going to crack him. He's going to slip, go to the ground or something, or they're going to end up on the ground, and he's going to sub him out. I think he's going to sub him in the second. We've both gone for the second. Will's gone Rozenstruik, second round KO, TKO. Again, you know, it could go anyway. This one's a super, super exciting fight, a great bit of matchmaking. I don't know, because it's... yeah, wow, what a fight this should be, you know, unless it turns into a stinker like Lewis again. But yeah, I'm so looking forward to that fight. This is a sneaky good card, you know. Munoz, Ankalaev, and the main events are really well matched fights. I'm not sure about the Ankalaev fight, but they mean a lot, and they've got a lot on them, and there's a lot to it. And there's a lot to watch for, you know, so I'm really excited about those. So yeah, it's going to be a fun card, and I'm really looking forward to it. I forgot to say at the beginning, because it's the second time I've done it today, I forgot to do the beginning bit, you know what I mean? So let's have a look at our scores from last week. So last week, you might say Will's not here because of the fight. And it could be that. But it might be. So I fucking won. I got 9 points last week. I got one all the way corrected. And Will got 8 points. So overall, he's still winning. He's got an average of 7.5. I've got an average of 5.5. And his total for since we've been doing is 15 and mine's 11. So I'm clawing it back. Hopefully after this weekend, I've got a few good ones, outliers there that we're different on a lot of things. So hopefully I'll get it back, and we'll get it somewhere close again. So yeah, what I'd ask is have a go against us. See if you can beat us. Bring your stuff, bring your best. Put your comments in there. Who you think's gonna win, and also if you think you're better than us, hit me up. Come on. Let's see how good you are. You know what I mean? Quite happy to have some guests on, some other people to speak. Come on, hit us up, and we'll see how good you are. See if you're better than us at picking fights. It is the fucking flick of a coin though, isn't it, at times? You know what I mean? So let's see if you're more lucky than us. So thanks very much for watching. Will be back with us next time. Massive fights next time. It's going to be amazing. Good luck to Will in his fight. Hope he's all safe and sound, and he has a good journey to Thailand. Peace out, everyone. Take care, man. Bye bye.